Page 60, Turn to Jesus. This is in the key of F major. 1 flat, B flats. 3/4 time, 8th notes all over the place. They give you a left hand warm up to give you an idea of the pattern the left hand has to deal with. Doesn't hurt to look at it. I generally don't use them. I look at the piece. The idea is you're playing octaves and you're moving around. Yeah, the first note up there is an F. You eventually get to the point where you can do this without looking. Now in the piece, let's go do the right hand here first. At the beginning, watch the fingering. 1, 2, and 3. If you can figure out another fingering works better for you, go for it. Otherwise, you need the thumb on that B flat. Trying to connect the melody. Now, second line. You can play the 8th note with the 5th finger. But at the half note, use 3rd finger. Like so, if you can. That way your 4th finger is available for the G. And then you do that some more, that'll be fun. 3rd line, last 2 measures, you're here, and then the 8th notes. I recommend for the last measure, the 3rd line, you do a 1-3 for the CE, and then cross over 2-4, and then 1-3 for the half note at the beginning, at the last line. Then lift up, lift up. You can use 4-5 if you'd rather, and then lift up again. A lot of lifting going on here. Now here, connect this if you can. You have to get off the B flat early. Because you want to connect all of that together. Triplets. 1 and 2 and 3. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Lift up. 1 and 2. Watch the fingering. 5, 4, 3. Lift up. And 2 and 3. And 2. That's about as tricky as the right hand gets right there. I'm going to adjust the rhythm a little bit in a minute, but hang on there. Let's talk about this left hand, because it is just going nuts here at the beginning. It's broken chords and octaves. Broken chords. And the 3rd measure, I recommend a 2nd finger on that last note if you can, because that puts you closer to where you want to be. So work out this left hand carefully. The pedal will help connect things the best you can. And you just go through this left hand and just work it out very slowly. Then put the hands together as best you can. the last two measures, the second ending there, you have that little grace note. I'm going to play that C with the left hand. on the A. And I recommend a 1 on the C there. 2. Here. And once you have all that working for you, then we changed the rhythm slightly to swing everything. All the eighth notes, we're going to swing them. So we're going to sort of blend them in with the triplets, but not quite. You feel this. So it's not quite a dotted rhythm and it's not quite a triplet, but if you're mixing triplets in with it, then you'll probably play it more like triplets. So at the beginning of this, on the eighth notes, rather than this, we're going to do this. Evenly first to make sure you got everything worked out before you do this. Now when you get up to the top of page 61 on the chorus and you got these triplets, now your rhythm is going to sound more like triplets. You work it out. It's a felt thing. Ba, da, da. And all the short notes are not necessarily going to be the same shortness. It could vary. It depends on how you feel it. And have fun with this one. Now, they've added a little bit of pedal. Now, I prefer as little as possible. We don't want to blur this all up, but the pedal can help in cases, so let's add pedal. At the beginning, again, we're going to lag the pedal. So the pedal plays after the hands play. When you get to the second measure, lift up, because we don't want the pedal here. Second line, you can pedal this pretty well. I tend to lift the pedal up on the first measure, or the first line and third line. I lift it up with the last beat here, so it's I'm not blurring this. I don't want that. The same thing with the third measure. I lift it up on the third beat. And at the last line, I lift it up on the third beat again. And the third measure, I lift it up on the third beat with the right hand because it's a new phrase. Again, at the top of page 61, I lift it up on the third beat. We don't need pedal there. And I'm doing this all over the place. I'm just pedaling the first two beats on this, not the third one. Last line on page 61, there you can pedal it like they're showing. There, and so forth. And that's how I recommend you do the pedal. Let's try this out very slowly together to double check all this mess. I'm not going to do any dynamics. You put in the dynamics after you get to know the piece and you feel it, because what they're suggesting to you is only suggestions. It's up to you to feel this loudness and softness once you get it. And it's the melody you're after. Bring out the melody. Let everything else be soft. A little bit about tempo here. Moderato is whatever it is. It's medium speed somewhere. It's sort of like what I've been doing, I think. But when you get to the bottom of page 61 on the second ending, very slowly there. So all of a sudden you just play this. How slowly is up to you. Just play this really slowly. And when I slow things down like this, I tend to smooth out the eighth notes. I'm not going to swing them so much. It's here. Now keep in mind that F in the right hand is tied all the way across. You don't play it again. Just hold it down through the whole thing. Like so. And then at the end, the pedal and the hands come up at the same time. I'll give us 3 counts. Let's try. 1, and ready, and go, and 1. Hold, 2, 3,